Hi everyone, welcome to Cinema Dilemma. Today we are talking about the new Malayalam language release Drishyam 2. It is released on Prime Video and it stars Mohanlal, Meena, Ansiba and Esther Enel. This is the same cast that was there in the first installment of this movie, and with the cast we also have the rampant alcoholism as one of the cast members. It's given a prominent value. Takes the story forward from the first movie. In the first movie, just to give a recap, it's a family of four, and there is a boy, an IG's son, who is harassing their elder daughter, Anju. And because of the harassment, there's an accident which happens, and the boy is killed. Basically, it's a murder committed by Anju. Now, in this second part of the movie, this story is taken from that particular point and taken 6 years forward, where the family is now living a normalish life, and the crime is not been found yet. The body of the boy has not been found yet, and the police is investigating, but they are not very hopeful of finding anything. In the meanwhile, George Kuti is uh, living his life. He has progressed a lot in those 6 years. He has his own cinema theater in the city, and he's also looking to make a film of his own. He has a script. He's talking to producers on how to go about it. It's been in the works for a really long time. They have new neighbors by the name of Sabu and Sarita, and they're very close to the George Kuti family. Sabu is an alcoholic, abusive husband, and Sarita is a very simple lady, and she's befriended Nani. Uh, and they talk about their lives. Rani shares her, since they have been friends for about 2 years. She shares her fears about the crime, how it is affecting the family, what they are going through, the rumors that are in the city. A very unpleasant situation for them all. They want to get Anju married, but they can't because of all the rumors that are going around. George Kuti seems to be not very interested or not very perturbed by these rumors. He's concentrating more on his script, on his movie, on his business to get it started off the ground. He has a few friends he's talking to, and since he's now drinking a lot more, he is not very present during the day for the family. It so happens that the police is investigating the crime diligently in the back end. So they have a few undercover police officers who are, around the city trying to find out more about George Kuti and his family, about what they are talking about, trying to get them to open up and tell them what happened, where the body is, how the crime happened, who the criminal was. So basically, while the first part was about the crime and hiding it, the second part is about revealing it, how, why, and again, George Kuti's brilliance. The movie is very melancholic because we see the past, how it is interfering with the future, how it was not a very pleasant past. So it is affecting them in one way or the other, how the family is dealing with it. It's more about human nature, psychology, etc., how the human psyche is working out. And well, like as you have, if you have seen the first movie, you would know that the first movie was about exploiting human nature, and the second is on the similar lines. The movie is a bit long, about 2 hours 33 minutes. It does feel a bit long, but it doesn't at any moment feel very draggy. It feels very natural the way things are going. There's a lot of story behind it, and nothing is a waste. Well, I won't say nothing, but most of it's not a waste. The whole story, the whole compilation is very cohesive in itself. It is one of the best sequels ever made, not only for the way it has been executed, directed, screenplay, everything, but also for the idea itself. It does take over after 6 years from the first movie, where it was about the crime and the hiding of it, and it does it beautifully. It tells you about the human nature, how it is reacting to that, the people who were affected by it, the parents of the boy who was killed, the family who has, who committed the crime and who has hidden it, what their reasons were as humans, as persons, not just as characters of a movie, because everyone is justified in their own way, but still not justified in the other way. It is very the dynamics between the two is very beautifully depicted. It is more of It is a psychological thriller, yes, but it is more of a human nature analysis and psyche as well. The idea of the multifaceted persecution of crime is beautifully done. Also, it shows that there is a green area between crime and criminals. And while justice in itself is black and white, it is blind. Lady Justice is blind, and it is black and white. There is also a lot of gray in a crime. There is a lot of why, how, the reasons, the intentions, they also matter as well as the crime itself, as the criminals itself. And there is more than one way to punish someone. If I say more, it will be a spoiler. I would not tell you more about it, but I would 10 on 10 recommend this movie. Not by any means perfect, but almost there. So about 4 stars out of 5, 4.5 stars out of 5. Do watch this movie with popcorn because it will come useful during those stressful moments. 10 on 10 recommend. And let me know if you've seen it, what your opinion is about the movie. Let me know in the comments below if you agree, if you disagree. If you disagree, the comments are all the more welcome. I would like to get a different perspective to this. And until next time, see ya.